Hey everybody, Prince's friend here, exploring music through Prince. As you can see, I am trying a little bit of a different setup here as well. I'm just in my dining room, you can see my back porch and whatnot, and I have some lights set up, so hopefully that's going to make it look really cool. But today, actually, I wanted to bring you guys some news about the Prince estate and the heirs, and maybe a little bit of a look into kind of what's going on with them. Now, on February 20th, there was a little bit of a news article that wasn't really picked up by many people, but it basically said that Comerica, who are the Prince estate lawyers and their legal team and whatnot, so they said that they are willing to lower their lawyers' fees. Now, according to the article, and I'll link to the article in the description so that you can see it, they're essentially saying, hey, we're cool with taking less money. They were charging $125,000 a month, and now they are willing to take only $110,000 a month, which is $15,000 a month savings. That is not a small amount of money, and will save a lot of money, yearly. So here's the interesting thing. There are three reasons why they're saying that they're willing to take less money. The first one is that they claim that they can now work more effectively and efficiently within the estate. So basically they're just like, hey, we know more about the estate itself and what's necessary, so we're cool. Number two is it says over the last 2 years, they've acquired considerable knowledge about the needs of the estate and Prince's heirs. So we know what the Prince estate is, we have a better understanding for what they want, and then now, the third reason is a decrease in litigation filed by the heirs in recent months. Because the heirs kept filing for Comerica to get removed and for this thing to not happen, that thing to not happen, and it's not all the heirs, just like half of the heirs didn't like what they were doing. That was costing extra money, and they were spending money over here and they were spending over, so it was just a big waste of money, so they're like, well, we're not going to reduce your fees, but if there's money we don't need to spend on lawyers and stuff, well then that's fine. We'll just lower the fees, we'll take less money because we're not having to spend as much in order to keep this going. The estate team also claims that they have gotten better with the individual personalities and preferences and communications with the heirs. So there's that as well. You know those people who are just difficult and they're never gonna not be difficult, but you've learned to work with their difficulties? That's pretty much what they're saying. So it's almost like a backhanded compliment in a way. So they are saying, though, that they are going to continue devoting a lot of time and effort to Prince's estate, but that the money is, again, a reflection of the relationship that they feel that they've made with the heirs. And they filed for this, but it has not been approved, so that's a whole other thing. I guess it'll get approved. the judge still has to approve it, so we'll see what happens with that. But at least they're saying, they're extending an olive branch, and they're like, hey, it's cool, let's try and be nice to each other. Now, I read that and didn't really think too much about it until I saw a tweet from Sharon Nelson go up just a couple of days ago. And that one read, this time last year, I released an album of our dad's music. Today, I'm introducing an EP of my own. Now, if we can just get Comerica out of the way, we can also release our brother's music. And that's the part, right, is that Comerica is saying, we're getting along much better and it's wonderful and everything. And then Sharon Nelson is saying, no, you're literally a roadblock to getting, Prince's music out. Not that I have seen that, at least not in the public. Obviously, I don't have the knowledge that any of the heirs have. But, if you're just looking at it from the outside, they are working. They're working to do the reissues, because they're working with Sony to do that. And, we have the album from Tidal coming later this year, so it's not as if they don't have things in the works, but apparently, according to Sharon, they are a roadblock to getting the music out. Now, of course, the question is how fast does she want it out versus how fast does the estate want it out? I doubt that the estate wants to not release things because releasing things makes them money and makes the estate money, but there's probably an argument as to the speed of such releases, which is the same kind of argument that all of us in the Friends community is having as well. I'm more of a, let's just be patient and let's do it, and there's a lot of people who are like, no, just give me the music now, and that's fair. I can't argue too much. The heart wants what the heart wants. But anyway, I thought that this was pretty interesting and kind of a glimpse into the relationship between Comerica and the heirs, at least Sharon Nelson's half of the heirs, which is usually the half that is pushing against the estate. And the question is that now that there's been kind of this public, like, pushback almost a little bit against Comerica saying that, hey, we're getting along so much better, are they going to rescind their offer? Is the judge going to say, well, you know, maybe you shouldn't do that, Comerica? Who even knows? But anyway, I thought that it was pretty interesting. Put your thoughts down in the comments if you have any thoughts about Comerica versus the heirs. This has kind of been an ongoing story I've been covering since Comerica took over. There doesn't seem to be too much cohesiveness in the way that it's being run with the heirs and the estate, and it looked like it was maybe getting better, and it looks like it might also not be getting better, so let me know what you guys think. Otherwise, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Both of those are at PrincessFriendYT. Also check out our Patreon at patreon.com/princessfriend, where you can contribute as little as $2 a month in order to support the channel. So if you really like what we do, that's where you go. And as always, may you live to see the dawn.